Hey, this is Wilson. As always, I'm joined by my two prestigious co-hosts, Shane Christopher Murray and Jason Big Mitch Mitchell. How you guys doing tonight?
Chilling, chilling.
Optimistic.
Very
That's,
optimistic.
that's good. Uh, a lot has happened since the last time we recorded. The trade deadline came and went. The Lakers were as busy as anybody. The All-Star game was last night.
Oh, yeah, it was last night too.
Yeah.
Shout out Matt McClung.
Mac McClung, the former. Remember when Shane Murray got on here? What was that? Was that rumor we made Shane Murray apologize that time? Was that what we made him apologize for? When he said,
Wasn't it?
remember when he said that Mac McClung, the Lakers still had his
His
right
rights or something, right? Yeah.
to.
Right.
um.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The
yeah,
time, one of the times he lied, right? Yeah.
right.
I
Mm.
didn't
So,
lie.
so shout out to Mac McClung for winning the dunk contest.
Mm.
So we're gonna get in the All Star weekend. We're gonna get into the what happens at the trade deadline, and and then we'll just see what else. I mean, we didn't talk about the Super Bowl. It's a lot of stuff that we missed, but so
Mm.
well, of course we'll start with the what happened at the trade deadline. Like I said, the Lakers were as active as anybody. Most notably, they traded uh, Russell Westbrook and I think Juan Toscano Anderson to the. It was a three-team deal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
13, yeah.
Most notably, we got back from the Timberwolves D'Angelo Russell,
Welcome
but
back,
also
D-Lo.
right, but also Jarrett Vanderbilt and Malik
Vanzo.
Beasley. Um, Thomas Bryant, we moved him to the
Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets
Mm.
in exchange for Devon Reed, who's basically like a G League player,
Mm-hmm.
and some draft
Three
picks,
second round picks. Don't forget that.
right, 3 second round picks,
Did get
and
three.
on top of that, and then we also traded Patrick Beverly.
Mm.
Um, who did we trade Pat Beverly? What did we get for Pat Beverly?
Um. Oh, that was things for Rui, right?
What?
No,
No, fool. Hold on.
was it just
No, he
draft
went to
picks?
Orlando for Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba.
Mo
Oh,
Bamba, Mo Bamba.
no,
We got it's
Okay.
been it's been more than a week now, so we don't remember the particulars. Uh, my least favorite of those trades was probably I didn't like the Bryant trade, and I didn't like the Beverly trade. The Bryant trade, even though it turned out that he requested it, I didn't like it because he was just to me he just was did a great job for us and was
Mm.
good insurance for AD. I just think he's a good player. And then we
Yeah.
also the Pat Bev thing is like I just think it's kind of bad business to bring in a guy in the off season and then turn around and trade him at the trade deadline. I don't like that
Happy
kind of stuff.
gone. Peace.
Yeah, of course you are, Shane.
Yeah, of course.
But
You're a terrible person. What's wrong with you?
it's a tough business, man. And the Lakers
Game is trash. He need to go.
really, I mean, honestly, I mean, it is. We'll be. I think we'll be better just because now Darvin won't have to worry about playing him. But I just think whenever you have a guy like that, like I always say, it's a guy who when he's not on your team, you hate him, but when he's on your team, you love him. And there's
Right.
a
No.
situation where he
That's
stood
just
up he stood up for AD in Phoenix, and it took a suspension for it. So he's the type of guy you can
Yeah.
go on a foxhole with. But now he's gone, man. And he was on this podcast afterwards. And he seemed to be doing okay. But I mean, these guys know it's a business, man. And
Yeah.
so, but then of course the news comes out today that Russell Westbrook will be staying in the Staples Center building. He's going to be signing with the Clippers after he clears waivers. Uh, or
gross.
he got bought out by the
That's what we
Jazz,
did.
and then he had to. Did he have to clear waivers?
Yeah, he had to clear waivers.
right? And then but then he'll be signing with the Clippers, so he's not going too far at all.
This is what
Uh,
we get. This is
he's
what we
there.
deserve.
He's staying in the building. Yeah, and I actually think it's funny. I actually think that the Clippers maybe the only team. And the thing about it is that they don't have to play him really. You know, it's like if you think they have to play him, Mitch?
On the Clippers,
Yeah,
yeah, with how many games Kawhi takes off. Oh, yeah. Oh, he got to play.
I was thinking of
He gonna
Sure.
play, but it's not gonna work out.
Yeah, but my thinking was that if it doesn't work out, they can survive without him. Like it's like a luxury if it does work. So, but I'll let you guys talk now. Starting with I don't know. I mean, overall, I'll start with you, Mitch. How would what grade would you give the Lakers in the wake of the trade deadline as far as the moves they made?
Oh man, I mean, we were able to get some draft picks back for Thomas Bryant, like you said. So I mean, that's always a positive. With the one consistent thing the Lakers have been doing is making really good second round picks. So it's good that we got some picks in return for Thomas Bryant. Like I said, hindsight, we find out that he requested the trade. I mean, it makes sense. He's looking to get his money. He needs his minutes. So, and Darvin, kind of doing Darvin things. Um, really wasn't giving him his minutes when AD came back. So, I mean, for Thomas Bryant requesting a trade made sense. For Jason Lee Mitchell, this trade makes no sense to me. Thomas Bryant, he did amazing for us. I mean, it sucked to see him go. Been rooting for this guy. We originally drafted him. It was good to see him come back. It was good to see him ball out. Uh, Overall, with all the moves made, we got hindsight as a benefit now because we've been able to see a couple games, and the lasting memory is the game against the Pelicans where we that was the most dominant game I've seen the Los Angeles Lakers play this entire season. You got to give them like an A minus, honestly, with all the moves made. All the moves made. I mean, D'Lo is a more, he's D'Lo is so smooth. He's always been smooth. The difference with D'Lo now is he's actually playing defense. Like it's amazing to see him hustle on defense, to communicate on defense, move his feet, to give effort, to go along with his smooth offensive game. Seems like a somewhat more natural fit where, you know, ego isn't as much involved so definitely a more natural fit. I mean, Vanderbilt seems like we stole him. This guy is a demon on the court. He never stops. He's always going for rebounds. Going for rebounds is a lost art. Some guys get rebounds because they're tall. This guy goes after rebounds. So that's good to see. Malik Beasley, I mean, Shay Murray was telling us he's talking all this stuff like, oh, I'm going to make all these threes. I'm going to make all these threes. You know, haven't really seen it in a meaningful game and at a meaningful time yet. So Malik Beasley, you need to live up to your words and start knocking down some threes. So yeah, I mean,
Well, technically, he made 6 in Portland. So, garbage time.
in garbage time, what did I literally just said he hasn't done it in a meaningful game at a meaningful time.
Didn't he hit a couple against the Pelicans?
He was like 2 for 7.
Okay.
Shane, what grade would you give the Lakers?
I'll give it a solid A. The Thomas Bryant one was the only head scratcher, only because you traded him to the Nuggets, who's ahead of you. So I'm not So why you would trade him to a team you're trying to catch?
They're trying to catch the Nuggets. The Nuggets have a 20-game lead.
No, they don't. But anyway, or
What?
a team ahead of you, I just say. But and then he not really gonna play them unless he playing behind Jokic. So maybe a few minutes here and there, but
You act like Jokic ain't that good.
he's not. But anyway, besides that, I love
Let's
what we
not get
did.
into that.
Love to see D'Lo back. I love Vanderbilt, especially with him and Gabriel together, and they play together in college at Kentucky.
Vando.
So I love those two together. I love the Beasley pickup. Obama, I think he'll be okay, but he still has to prove himself a little bit because he arrived late and he got played behind the AD. He either go uh, Gabriel or Vanderbilt AD spot, so he gonna have to just prove himself a little more to get minutes. But not like what we did. We got shooters, we got younger, and we got pieces that can stay longer past this season if we want, or flip them for something else if we want. So like we did, these pieces can stay. I would like for these pieces to stay, but yeah, I like what we did. We got a squad now.
I'd also
Yeah.
like to say that, I mean, shout out to Russ, just for being a professional for his whole time. We asked one of the top 75 greatest players in NBA history to come off the bench, and he
Mm,
did it with a smile. He did it with professionalism, and gotta applaud Russell Westbrook for rolling with all the punches that he had to roll through during his Laker tenure. So shout out to Russ, man. Just know you got at least one Laker fan that was not against you, and recognizes your talents and appreciates how you played and that you played. This man showed up to work every single night. So shout out to Russ, man. As usual, in my Instagram bio it still says Russell, a full-time Russell Westbrook defender. I will remain that, Russ. I got your back. Don't trip.
And to piggyback off that, I love Genie. Love you to death, Genie, but
Feels like a
we
butt's coming.
gotta find a way to corrupt that vampire comment some type of way. That's unacceptable. That's uncalled for.
Yeah.
He's not that dude. Everybody who talks about Westbrook, they talked about how amazing of a person he is and a teammate. You can't let that vampire
Like,
comment come out of
by an
the
anonymous source. Yeah, what the man? All these anonymous sources, and just to kind of go back to like, you know, ever since obviously we know how the season had gone. When he was starting, the Russ slander was in full force. Then he went to the bench. He started playing even better. Um, and the noise had quieted down, right? The noise had quieted down. Everybody was, like, oh shoot, Russ, sixth man of the year, sixth man of the year. And then the trade deadline comes back up. Well, not comes back up. The trade deadline starts to come around, and all of a sudden, the Russ slander starts again. And I'm just like, listen, I didn't understand why we needed to slander him just to trade him. Like the comments that were being made were just, they all just felt unnecessary. The vampire in the locker room comment, like what is that? Because like you see a video come out of Russ and LeBron, though maybe a couple days before he gets traded, like they're like dancing in the pregame together.
Mhm.
He didn't look like no vampire to me. Looked like LeBron was having a good time. I mean, the one thing I will say is just like LeBron's reaction. Have you guys seen the video of LeBron, like the team in the locker room, and LeBron and Darvin Ham go, "Oh yeah, all right, time to get greedy, time to get greedy, time to
Oh,
get
it's
greedy."
have fun. Was that fun? Yeah.
Russ goes, "Let's just keep having fun, guys." LeBron's reaction, I was like, "Oh, that was the moment." LeBron said,
I mean, but that's not off script for Westbrook though. That's something he would say. But
I'm just saying that's the moment Lay GM said he got to lay go. Man,
well, that and the infamous fight with Darvin Ham at halftime of that game.
that's what I'm saying, man. It's like you gotta like in the NBA, how uncommon is it to get into like kind of an exchange with your coach? It can't be that uncommon. There's no way.
It's not uncommon. It's just whoever heard it in the front office or worked for the Lakers took that another way and did the most with it. So that's the problem. You didn't got to clean up somehow.
What got buried in all of that? It was like it was described as a brief, heated exchange, and they quickly turned their attention back to winning the game. Like if you're discussing something and it gets heated, real quick, and then like you go like that's nothing. So the fact that like little bullshit like that was getting reported on him is just like, come on, man. Then report on how many times has how many times has maybe LeBron got into a heated exchange with? I bet there was times maybe in Cleveland when LeBron got into a heated exchange with Ty Lue. I bet you MJ got into brief heated exchanges with Phil. We all know Kobe got into brief heated exchanges with Phil. I mean, it's bound to happen when you're in the heat of the moment. So the fact that things like that were getting reported and used as a negative against him is just.
But I think the difference is with LeBron, he has David Miniman in his corner
and Windhorse.
Yeah, and Kobe, he had his people in his corner. Westbrook don't have nobody in his corner in terms of the media is concerned. Media just comes after him. It's granted he don't help his case much, but at the same time he don't say nothing to hinder himself either. They just keep coming at him and he give him the energy he want to give him at that time.
Yeah. And then stupid little videos of like him not signing the autograph come out.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just like what? How? Like I can't, the way the media has treated Russell Westbrook over these past 2 years has been absolutely shameful. And the media, if you're a member of the media and you get on if you call yourself a member of the media, you got on camera and you trash talk Russell Westbrook and you got on Twitter and trash talk Westbrook or you reported some of this nonsense or you reposted some of that bullshit, you owe the Westbrook family an apology. I'll be here waiting.
And I hate to see him suit up in a Clippers jersey, but as long as you're in LA with your family, you're able to play your game to the best that you can with the new squad. Oh, it's gonna be gross to see him in that jersey. I just want to see him finish his career the way he wants to go out, and not go out like AI or Melo.
Yeah,
the way it's going, that's
where it's headed.
It's already happening.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, even the teams that were interested in him, like, he has people in his corner, like Clippers, Paul George is vouching for him, Chicago, Billy Donovan vouching for him, ex-coach, Washington still love him. So there's still a few spots there if it don't work out here, he can go to. Even Miami was giving him a look. So there's still a few teams that would be willing to give him a try.
I'm not so quick to be like it's not going to work, honestly. Like they don't have a guy that can really make plays like him on that team.
They don't, but
make plays like him on that team at all.
They don't, but the way that team is set up, Paul George and Kawhi run point forward most of the time, run the offense, and the point guard at the time usually just fills the wing. So if they want to back up a little bit, let get the keys to Westbrook and run the offense, then it will work. But if they do keep doing with how they doing it, it's not gonna work.
Well, I would assume they had, supposedly, reportedly, they had obviously he had long talks with the Clippers about his role, and that's why he chose to go to the Clips. So I would assume it would be something like that. I would assume.
Respectfully, that was the same thing he did with AD and Bron too.
I'm
It
just,
tricked him.
that's very true. It's very true.
So,
But do you think Kawhi and PG are more willing to adapt to Russ?
as
Is
it,
the question we
I
need to
think
ask.
PG will is remains to be seen about Kawhi, but PG
So
will,
that's
will, will,
why I feel like it. That's why I feel like it's going to work because he has PG on his side. Like
I
PG
just
wants
don't.
to work. They've already
I'm
played
just.
together.
I just don't know how the dynamic's gonna go with Ty Lue and him. And then both those two like to low manage. Rush likes to go 1,000%. So I don't know how that's gonna mesh either. So this
Well, Russ is going to play every game. Like it is what like he shows up to work.
right. I'm saying you got two guys you leaning on who low managing while you
Yeah, that's those two. This is why
yeah.
they're bringing Russ in. They need somebody to play every night.
We'll see.
um,
I can see them going to Bowles Highland more in certain moments too. So gonna have to wait and see what he
Uh,
does.
he's not a Bones is not a point guard.
He's
He,
not, but
he's a scoring guard for sure. So
bro, why has nobody ever decided, bro? We're just gonna play Westbrook hard the first three quarters and not play him in the fourth quarter. Like, wouldn't
that's
that?
kind of disrespectful for
I
one.
know, but goddamn, that's what the Clippers should do. Because what other options does he have now,
I
right?
think that's gonna do that's they're gonna do anyway. But you can't. He has some good moments in the fourth where he's hit game winners in the fourth. So you can't just you
But
gotta kind of have to
overall,
play it
though,
by ear and and feel like okay he got it going tonight. We'll see what he does in the fourth and
I
vice
think
versa.
as a player, having that trust from your team and having that belief as your team, it really helps. So the fact that I mean, you could legit see it, just like the fact that the Laker crowd wasn't on Russ's side in the beginning of the year, you could feel it in his game.
Yeah.
Then when he started to play better and like the crowd finally got on his side, he elevated his game even more. So, if the Clips can just learn from our mistakes and embrace him and give him that confidence and be like, "Hey, we trust you at the end of the game." I think he can flourish.
um, I,
We'll
I,
see.
I yeah, I think it's. I mean, yeah, like I said, I think the Clippers are one of the few teams who could actually it could work. I don't know, for some reason, just watching them and the kind of structure that they have, not just on the court but off the court, I feel like he might be able to get in there and not, cause too many, or at least not be a negative, be a net, neutral. But he, like Mitch said, he brings some things to their team that they don't have anybody who can do that, and they haven't had anybody who could do that since Chris Paul. So, um, yeah, but as far as the Lakers go, I mean, it was just such. I mean, honestly, let's tell the truth. Really, it's like it
It's
would be
just
like. I mean, it would almost be an addition by subtraction if they had just bought him out or something. But instead, they traded him and were able to get a good point guard back in Russell. I'll say this about Russell. Um, he really has no pure point guard skills. I noticed that I think in the one of the first, I think the first game he played for us was against Golden State, wasn't it? When he
Talking about
came,
D'Angelo Russell?
yeah,
What do you mean he don't have any pure point guard skills?
well, so D'Angelo is more of I mean, he's listed as a point guard and he can I understand what you're saying. He can make plays for sure, but he's a scorer, by nature.
I just noticed right away that he didn't know how to get Anthony Davis the ball. He wasn't even trying to, you know. And that's something that as a point guard, man, you got to know to get the ball to your big man. It seems like Shane Murray would know that. I guess Shane Murray doesn't like big men though, so he's gonna act like he doesn't know what I'm talking about.
He's confused because you said he's not a natural, like he's not a pure point guard. He's confused by this. But D'Angelo is a scorer that can make plays.
Yeah, I heard
I mean,
a saying.
I feel like you damn if you do, damn you don't type of thing for as a point guard. Because like GP can score. You'll never you never hear nobody call GP a scoring point guard. Chris Paul can score. You'll never hear nobody call Chris Paul a scoring point guard. You know what I'm saying?
Here goes Shane Murray,
and
not recognizing nuances as usual.
No, I'm just saying, like,
here we
D'Lo,
go. Nobody
could do both. D'Lo could do both.
Nobody said he couldn't. Nobody said he couldn't do
but
both.
Why doesn't Shane? How come? Did you notice that he doesn't throw the ball to AD in the post?
Well, I mean, in fairness, name a time where he's had a big man throw it in the post.
Karl Anthony Towns?
No, don't let him.
No,
don't let him try to deflect. Answer the question. Antho asked you a question. You always do this. I'm not letting it happen no more. Answer the question.
They barely played 2 games together, so they have to play
Bruh, he doesn't know to throw the ball to Anthony Davis. They have to play together more. That's his job.
And he averages 7 assists. What more do you want?
I don't know, bro. This guys who average 7 assists. I mean, he has the ball. That's why he averaged 7 assists. I mean, it just stood out to me like a sore thumb that he. I'm like, bruh, get it past that man the ball.
Ain't they 2-1 since they traded him? What's the problem?
He does, bruh. He needs to know how to get the ball inside,
and he will. It's been 3 games.
He's one of these new
Give
age.
him a fucking break.
He's one of these new age point guards that just really doesn't know how to play that position, man. But I heard Bomani Jones say something. It stood out to me. It was a great saying. I don't think he came up with it. Hear somebody else say it, but he said, guys like Russell. He didn't say he was talking about Russell, but he was talking about. I forget who he was talking about. But the saying was basically, he's a point guard. He's not a passing guard. It's like, and Russell,
the man is averaging 7 assists.
I get that. I agree. He does, but I don't think he has that in names. You mentioned Chris Paul and Gary Payton. I mean, those are guys who knew how to run a team. You think.
Yeah, but they also scored 20+ points.
But that's not the point. Just because
point, you can't.
It's not.
Isaiah Thomas would score. Magic Johnson would score, but they knew how to run the team.
Right.
So does D'Lo.
I don't know.
They're not the same type of player. What do you know? Like, that's not a diss to D'Angelo.
But to say he doesn't run a team, or to say he doesn't know how to run it, quote unquote, run a team, to say he doesn't look inside to AD. They only played 3 games together. He got
to say that he's not a pure passer is not a knock on him. It's just who he is.
Do you not remember what his
So do you think D'Angelo's a pure passer?
Coming out the draft?
Do you think D'Angelo's a pure passer? Yes or no?
Yes, he is.
He's not a pure passer. What are you talking about?
He can do both. He can score. He can score.
That's what we said, but he's not a pure passer. To say that he's a pure passer means he's thinking pass first, like a Chris Paul.
That's not what it means. That's not.
Yes, it is. What do you think? What do you think pure passer means?
If they traded for Chris Paul,
y'all just nitpicking.
Shane, if they traded for Chris Paul, you think Chris Paul would need? If they traded for Chris Paul, you think Chris Paul would need a few games to figure out he should throw the ball? That'd be the first thing he did, probably. It's just natural if you know what you're doing at that position. How if you not throw the ball to your best player in the post?
Guys like Steve Nash, Chris Paul, they're pure passers.
Whatever. That's nitpicking.
Why do you take it as an insult? Why do you take it as an insult that D'Angelo is he's a very good scorer and he can make plays?
He's more than just a scorer.
Huh?
He's more than just a scorer. That's the problem.
Did you not hear me just say that he's a good scorer and he can make plays? Did you not hear me say that?
Yeah, bro. I'll take the backhanded compliment. Let's go.
It's not a backhanded.
It is a backhanded compliment.
How? What do you mean?
You basically said the equivalent of what's his name on the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. He's a good quarterback, but he needs to learn how to throw.
He needs what? Just what?
He's a good quarterback. He'll make plays, but he needs to learn how to throw. He basically said the equivalent of what the Lamar Jackson argument.
No.
Yes.
Not what I said.
Yeah, okay.
That's not what I said at all. What I like.
Whatever. It's all right. Whatever. Move on.
No, because you need to learn something today. Like you clearly
I don't need to learn nothing today.
Yeah, you do. You need to learn something new every day. Today you're gonna learn nuance. Like there's a difference.
I don't give a fuck about nuance.
There's a difference. No, we know. We can tell by all of your comments. There's a difference between D'Angelo Russell and Magic Johnson, or is there not?
There is.
Thank you.
Exactly.
But
so it's
you talking about the same Magic who you talking about the same Magic who praised D'Lo's passing.
Nope.
You don't remember that? You don't remember
Magic traded him and said I needed a real point guard.
No, that's why he traded him. He traded him because of the Nick Young situation. That's what happened.
Why would he trade D'Lo over the Nick Young situation? That doesn't make any sense.
This fool.
He said out of his own mouth he needed he traded D'Angelo and drafted Lonzo, who was more like a Magic Johnson type player coming out of UCLA. So there you go, Shane. How you like that? Exactly.
Let's move on.
All right. What's next?
Man, this guy is terrible. Like I don't understand what's wrong with this guy.
Yeah, all right. You're always right.
Why can't D'Angelo be like a scoring point guard that can pass?
Because it's coming off as an insult. Because
it's not an insult. He passes really good. Like,
but he's not. He's a point guard. He's not just a quote unquote scoring point guard.
I don't think he's like. I think he is a quote unquote point guard. I think he's more of a two guard, to be honest.
He can play both.
Okay.
He's a shooting guard playing point guard.
And so is there a way that we're able to put a clown emoji over Shane Murray's face now?
I wish, man.
In post-production?
In post-production, yeah, I'll look into that.
In post-production? Oh, okay, cool.
There we go. Bullshit insults.
We need to fix that in post and just
here we go with the bullshit insults.
Any time that Shane Murray tries to defend.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go with the bullshit insults.
One time every episode. Here we go.
Now you need to leave again.
Come back. Hurry up. We burning daylight, brother.
If I do come back.
Please come back.
Cry me a river. What's wrong? Seriously, what's wrong with this guy? Why? I don't understand how it's an insult to say that D'Angelo Russell is not a pure point guard. Like he's not the Magic Johnson mold, and that's okay. Like I don't understand how that's an insult.
Yeah, he gets so sensitive about point guards.
I don't understand. He's not even Shane Murray is not no pure point guard either. I'll tell him to his face. I don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't even respect big men. So
he doesn't respect big men. That's so true.
Thank you, Shane, for coming back.
You mad because people say that you're not a pure point guard either? Is that why?
No one ever said I was a pure point guard or not. So I was never a pure point guard. So
yeah, that's what I said. You ain't no pure point guard.
You know what? Like I said, I never said I was.
Okay.
I was really a 2 or 3 learned how to play point guard. So
okay.
A 3.
You think Nick Van Exel was a pure point guard, or you think he was?
Yes, he was. He was a pure point guard who could score. Say something about Nick. Say something about Nick.
I think he's of the D'Angelo Russell mold. Like
see, that's bullshit. Stop.
Why?
Because you put a point guard in a box.
Not in a box, fool.
It is in a box. Not every point guard need to be a Magic Johnson. to be a quote unquote point guard.
Nobody's saying that.
There's
You are
different
saying that.
types.
You say, oh, because he can score, he's a scoring point guard. Well, he's not a
No,
true point guard.
Magic Johnson. Listen, there's a difference. Magic Johnson was a passer and he could score. Do you not understand that?
Same thing with D'Lo. Same thing with Nick Van Exel.
Yes.
But which way do they
scorers
lean,
who
though?
could pass. It doesn't diminish their passing skills because clearly
But
they
you're
have
knocking him as a
skills.
point guard.
And I would say
Who's
Nick
knocking
had,
him as a point guard? There's
I would-
different types.
I
There's
would say-
levels to this.
I would say Nick had more of the pure point guard gene. Even though, like Mitch said, he had a little bit more of a scorer's mentality than a. See, the thing about the point guard position, Shane, is what you do is you come out, your main focus should be to get your teammates involved, and then you take over and you score when you have to. That's what Isaiah Thomas mastered. That's what Magic Johnson mastered. That's what Chris Paul mastered. Even a John Stockton. John Stockton was their crunch time scorer in Utah, but of course he was looking to pass most of the time. Van Exel, there's a reason that Van Exel used to drive Magic crazy, man. Remember when Magic was coaching? Magic like, Van
A
Exel,
point guard
please,
does what's necessary for the team to run an offense.
How would you know? You ain't no point guard.
If the team needs buckets, a point guard will give you buckets. If you need to get players involved, he'll give you 10 assists. If you need to go help him rebound, he'll go get 5 rebounds. Like, he does what's necessary for the team.
and let's be clear, please.
Put them in a straight box. It's not necessary to say.
But nobody's putting them in a straight box, though,
Point
Shane.
guard.
It's not a box. It's just how they play.
Yeah.
That's cap.
No, it's not. This guy, you just don't know basketball. That's okay.
And
no more than you. But again, you're always right.
And to be clear, Van Exel remains one of my all-time favorites. He was my first favorite basketball player.
You already
I love Van
disrespected him. You already disrespected him. Let's move on.
How is that
disrespectful? What's disrespectful?
Gave him a backhanded compliment.
It's not backhanded.
It is backhanded.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You don't even know what a backhanded compliment is.
What's a backhanded compliment?
Move on, please.
What's a backhanded compliment? Tell me.
To knock somebody and try to compliment at the same time.
I don't understand. How is it a knock to say that D'Angelo is a little bit better of a scorer than he is a passer, but he's still really good at both?
Because he is a point guard who can play 2 guard, but because he likes to score, you're looking at him more as a 2 guard to say he's not a point guard. He can make plays.
So you just said that he likes to score. You literally just said he likes to score, though.
That don't mean he's not a point guard.
Oh, it just means he likes to score, no? Right?
It means he likes to score, but you still call him a point guard.
Oh, okay. So he likes to score. He likes to score, right?
Yeah, point guards can like to score and still get his team involved.
Gotcha.
But nobody said he wasn't a point guard.
To say that he's not a pure point guard if he enjoys scoring more than passing.
A point guard can enjoy scoring?
Let's move on.
One day you'll understand basketball. One day.
No more to you, but again, you're always right.
You prove every show that you know nothing, Jon Snow.
You're always right. You can never be wrong. What can I do with that?
We can put it to a poll if you want.
Do what you got to do, but you're always right.
We can put it to a poll. Antho, let's do this. We'll get on the gram, as the kids call it, and we'll put this to a poll.
Yes. As always, as I say at the end of the podcast, you can follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter. You can do polls on Twitter too.
So Terrell Brandon ain't a real point guard?
Or TC Pod Network. So look out there for the
Terrell Brandon.
Terrell Brandon from the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Why would you go to Terrell Brandon?
What the heck? I never remember this guy.
What the heck? 20 years.
Nobody has. What do you mean?
Stephon Marbury ain't a real point guard?
Man, not really, bro. That was his problem.
No, Stephon Marbury could score. I can't stand this
So
guy,
Shane, you
man.
don't see the difference
Have you
between
lost your mind?
he was Stephon Marbury was that's I'm glad you mentioned because Stephon Marbury was probably the ultimate
Did you,
example
did you
of
go
something.
to? Did you see N1's post today?
Huh?
Did you see
Because he
N1's
had a
post
lot of
today?
great passes. Yes, I'm sure.
No, do you see what they said about him today, N1?
N1?
Yeah.
No, Shay Murray. I don't regularly keep up with N1.
Go to N1's post.
Why?
Just go to N1's post.
For
What
what?
did they say?
What they say? Tell us. I'm not gonna look.
They call him one of the greatest point guards in history.
So
But you're calling him. You say he's not a point guard.
Shane. So you don't see the difference between
Stephon Marbury ain't top 10 point guards of all time. Let's just get that out the way.
Better than Steph Curry.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I said it.
Come on.
You just said Stephon Marbury is better than Stephen Curry?
Yes, he is.
I want to say something about Marbury. Marbury is to me the ultimate example of a player. Marbury had all the talent and all the tools in the world, but he didn't know how to make his teammates better. He didn't really know how to run the team. He had a
He
playground
averaged
scores.
20 and 10. What more you want him to do to run the team?
Oh, you see, didn't it say that you don't understand nuance?
Yeah, let's go. Move
Sheila
on.
says you're
Y'all
ridiculous.
crazy. Move on.
Sheila just said you're ridiculous. I can't believe you.
Why do you think Chris Paul's teams have always been good, Shane? And Marbury only played on like one good team that 1 year in Phoenix.
Let's move on. Y'all crazy.
He said Marbury is better than Curry. What's wrong with
He
that?
Why
is.
would you say that? What makes him better than Curry, Shane?
Why would you think
He's more of an all-round player. The only thing Steph has more over Marbury is that he can shoot better. That's it.
What is wrong with this guy? Because Steph can't pass, right?
How many times did Marbury make the playoffs? Twice? But he had his
Look
home
who he
team.
had on his team.
I think Steph is another good example of a point guard who's a really good.
He's not a point guard to me.
He's
not even a point guard on his team. Draymond runs points.
How many
Draymond
assists
runs
does he
offense,
average?
not Steph.
You like to bring that up? How many assists does Steph Curry average for his career? Huh? How many?
I'll say 5 to 10.
5 to 10. That's a
5
big
to
gap.
10.
He averaged like 6.5, I think. Something like that. But I was gonna say
He don't even run the offense on his own team though, so I can't call him a point guard.
I forgot what I was gonna say Shane Murray is. So. But I was gonna say, perfect example.
Damon Stoudemire. Damon Stoudemire not a point guard?
Perfect example. Why do you think, Shane,
Chauncey Billups not a point guard?
Why do you think that when the
you're on the nose, 6.5 for his career.
Shane, why do you think that? So in 2001, I think the Nets won 26 games with Marbury as the point guard. They trade him for Jason Kidd, and what happens the very next year, the next 2 years, with the exact same team around Kidd?
That don't mean he's not a point guard. I mean Jason Kidd's a better point guard.
But that's his perfect example of somebody.
I knew it.
Marbury has more talent, basketball talent, than Jason Kidd, but he doesn't know how to use his teammates. He doesn't know how to run the team.
Whatever. Let's move on.
See what I mean? Now he got us out here trashing stuff on Marbury.
Then Marbury was in Phoenix and made the playoffs that 1 year. Then the next year they missed the playoffs. What happened to that? What happened right after that? They ship Marbury out, and who they bring in? Steve Nash. And what happens? What happens?
I get it. That doesn't mean he's not a point guard. It means he's a better point guard.
Shane, it happened back to back, bro. He didn't know how to run it. He didn't know how to play point guard.
This fool doesn't have the sense to see what's in front of him. It's wild.
Kid and Nash made their teammates better.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on because we're running out of time.
Why can't he see that there's a difference between guys like Kid, Nash, and Nash and like guys who can score?
Those are point guards, but because my issue is you're saying because a quote unquote point guard likes to score, he can't be a point guard no more.
That's not what I said. Nobody said
that's what you're basically saying. You're not saying
no, it's not what we're basically saying.
Yes, you are. Because you're saying a point guard can't like to score.
We're trying to listen.
First
That's
thing I
what I
said
have to
was
explain to you,
D'Angelo
man.
Russell is not a pure point guard. I didn't say he wasn't a point guard. I said he wasn't a pure point guard.
Exactly.
And why? Because he likes to score. That makes no. That's bullshit.
Yes, that's exactly why.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Let's move on.
You gotta need those. You gotta need those Advils for me. Shane Murray is giving me a headache.
Big Mitch is gonna need some ibuprofen.
I need ibuprofen, man. This fool is, he's just full of nonsense. What's wrong with this guy?
All right, look. So okay, All-Star Weekend. Let's get into that quickly. We got about 15 minutes left. What did you guys think of the?
Fight about something about this too. Watch.
Huh?
We about to fight about something about this too. Just guaranteed.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna say something like, Mac McClung is more of a pure jumper, and say it's gonna be like that's a backhanded compliment.
Shane, all Mac McClung knows how to do is dunk.
No. No, that's cap.
I love Mac McClung, just like the next guy that, keeps up with the Lakers and everything. But listen.
You realize he broke Allen Iverson's high school scoring record?
Oh Lord, in high school.
You realize he has a 40-point game in the G League?
In the G League?
The G League.
Hey, he was technically coming from the G League to the Sixers when he did the dunk contest, and don't sneeze on the G League. Your boy, got his name? Clark. What's his name? Fuck. The ball-headed Eagle came from the G League, so don't sneeze on the G League.
Hold on. Are you trying to disgrace the great name of Alex Caruso right now?
Alex Caruso came from the G League. You trying to disgrace the G League like the G League ain't shit.
Did you just disrespect the GOAT right now? Like not being able to remember his name? Are you kidding me?
You call him the ball-headed Eagle?
What's wrong?
That was a nickname.
You need to don't disrespect the GOAT like that.
Don't disrespect the G League.
Mac McClung has played 2 NBA games so far. I'm not gonna do this with you, Shane Murray.
That's not his fault.
No,
he's getting knocked because of his height, and he's not either.
You're not gonna bait me this time.
Run point.
You're not gonna bait me this time. I like Mac McClung. I hope
don't seem like it.
Philadelphia 76ers. You're not gonna bait me into this, just like you baited me into this debate with Sharif O'Neal. Not this time, sir. I'm not gonna do it. Mac McClung, I love you game, man. I hope you get shot in Philly, man. I wish we'd have kept you in the Lakers, but no, Shane Murray, I'm not gonna do it. Not this time. Not with Mac McClung, man. The great white hope. There's no way. I can't do it to him. They should have got Mac McClung for White Man Can't Jump. What's Jack Harlow doing in this?
Yeah,
I have no idea. Why you asking me this shit? I'm head of casting or some shit.
I'm not asking you. We all know you don't know nothing about no movies. You probably thought House Party should have won an Oscar. So
which House Party?
The remake.
Oh hell no.
You didn't like House Party?
Not this one. No, hell no.
You didn't like it at all.
The cameos made it watchable. Other than that, it would have been worse than the Marcus Houston one.
I would have bet money that you would have loved this movie.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Hey man,
the cameos made saved the movie basically.
Mitch, you said Carucci's in it, isn't she?
Carucci was in it.
Yeah, well, like I said, the cameos. They hell cameos. Can't play.
Tinashe's in it too.
Yeah, the cameos.
Maya's
was in it.
Maya.
The game was really happy that Maya was in that for sure.
I bet he was.
What happened in that?
No. Because the game in Dreams raps about Maya.
Yeah, but what happened? They had a scene in the movie?
Maya was in it.
Yeah, Maya had a scene in the movie.
Was Gabe in the movie?
No, he wasn't in it.
Oh,
Juvenile was in it.
Just making a
call back to back in the day.
Yeah.
He used to date Maya, right? Did
No,
he?
we didn't date Maya.
I don't think he dated her, but she was
No.
in. She came out in his like next video though.
Right.
Like after Dreams came out, she came out, or
Mm.
no, she was in the Dreams video.
Yes, you would. But my point exactly is the cameos saved the movie.
I don't know. I was entertained. You know, more than that, I mean, it is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a house party movie. You know,
I
Yeah, I
saw
hated it.
the
I hated it.
director.
Besides the cameos,
The
like it was,
director.
it's like it's worst one next to the immature one.
I think I owe Sheila like $5. I think I told her that you probably like really love this movie.
Nah, I
I
didn't.
might owe her $5 on like a bet that we made that night.
I saw the director on. He did an interview on No Jumper. You know, he's from LA. He's from South Central. I know he kind of
What you
looked
know
at it
about
like
No
a.
Jumper?
What you talking about, buddy? Nobody knows what No Jumper better than I do.
Oh shoot.
Yeah,
I don't know what you said that for, Shane.
Yeah.
What you know about No
you know
Jumper?
why I would say that?
Why?
Cause you stay in your bubble.
Bruh, first of all, shout out Adam. Shout out to T Rail. Shout out to AD. Shout out to Les. Shout out to Gita. Shout out to Sharp. Shout out to Duno. Who you think you're talking to like that, son? AD, No Jumper, that's my clan. That's my crew. That's my clan. That's my
No,
tribe.
there's
Yeah,
no
all right.
way. There's no way Shane Murray would have been able to list all those names right now.
Hell
There's
no.
no way. There's no way the new late cap would have been able to do that.
And
Ain't
what I
no.
know is Gia, so
Here we go. Of course you would. Um,
But can we actually get into the All Star stuff really quick?
yeah, I was
so
gonna ask y'all one question right quick.
what's up?
Did you guys see You People?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
I'll give you both 30 seconds. What did you think? First of all, of course, the great Kenya Barris, Daniel Murphy alum,
Yep.
he directed it.
Right.
What did you guys think of You People?
Can I go first, or should I
Yes,
let Shane
please,
Murray go?
quickly.
Okay, good. I thought You People was a really good movie. I think they handled the topic very well. I mean, I think, nonsense like that happens all the time. I mean, the way shout out to Julia Louis Dreyfus. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of, people like that. It's just, the more they try to not be racist, the more that they are. And it's wild. And I'm glad that they told that story. Needs to be told. They need to know, like, hey, bro, just, we're people. Talk to me like a person. Like, we're not different. So yeah, really good movie. Love the story that they told. My only problem is Jonah Hill, Lauren London, both amazing actors for sure. They had no chemistry. I'm so sorry. They
What
had
did you
no
expect?
they had no chemistry together. Like, man, I really wanted it to work, and I
It
really
wasn't.
wanted to ship them as a couple in the movie, but the chemistry just wasn't all the way there for me in that part of the relationship. But overall, I love the movie. We watched it the day it came out, so love the movie. 8.5 out of 10.
Shane,
I thought it was a good movie, but I'm personally getting exhausted by how Kenya Burris fills movies for me as far as his formula. In terms of the chemistry thing with Lauren London and Seth Rogen, I wasn't
You mean
expecting
Jonah
that.
Hill?
Huh? Jonah
You
Hill.
mean Jonah Hill?
Jonah Hill. I wasn't expecting him to have chemistry. I mean, you talking about Lauren London who was dating Nipsey, then to go and act like she's into Jonah Hill, it's like a stretch. But anyway,
Oh, Jonah Hill.
what's not wrong with Jonah Hill? But move on.
I don't think
Um,
there's anything wrong with Jonah Hill.
I thought it was a good movie. I'm just exhausted by the whole white mix-ish and whack as fuck style coming into everything he does. And
Wow.
now he wants to do the same thing with Wizard of Oz. So I'm kind of
oh God.
exhausted.
For
But
me, I don't think I could even get 30 minutes into the movie because it was just so cheesy to me and so corny. The writing was just so lame. How it was just to me it just seemed like really lazy. writing.
Wow. Damn.
You know, like
That's
trying
fire.
to every line was kind of like a cheap line meant to,
Ooh,
connect to, pop culture, some
ooh.
reference to stuff that's going on. Every single, it's not
No,
every
what you
line,
Showed a
know
lot
what
of
you
love
mean.
to Drake. Showed a
huh?
lot of love to Drake.
Right.
That was,
It's
but
like,
I
come on,
like that.
Kenya.
I like that style of comedy though. So you know,
Yeah.
And
I mean,
and I
it's
just
to
said
each his own.
I heard that you guys talking about the chemistry. I heard Andrew Schultz, who's in the movie, he said that. Did you guys see where he said that Lauren
Yeah,
and
I heard
Shona
that.
didn't even kiss in that scene? Really, it was like CGI or whatever.
It's got to be Shane. It's got to be Shane
Oh,
Murray told him to say that. Got to keep the late
no,
cap
I mean, why would you expect her to kiss him, bro?
because they're paid actors. What do you mean? Why would I expect her to
No.
kiss them? What do you know?
No.
Because every leading man is super attractive. Like, what do you mean?
No, this is no that's not realistic for Lauren London to be. No.
It's just like in Entourage, right, Mitch? Lauren London, didn't she date Turtle on Entourage?
Yeah, I
And
believe
then
that. I believe that.
oh, that's the
That's
same
I
thing
different.
to
thought
me.
they had chemistry in
That's
Entourage.
that's different though.
And then
How is it
even
different?
Jamie Lynn
Because
Sigler
Turtle
dating Turtle.
is
That was like
smooth, he cool
Turtle ain't smooth.
compared to
And he was big. He was still big back then when Lauren London was on the show too.
hmm You guys, we don't have time to
speaking
talk
of
about All Star. I like to keep these under an hour. But we got to
so
get out
All
of
Star
here.
game. I was running through it. I liked what they did with the Rising Stars and made it a tournament. That was dope.
So you get to run through it.
Well, you had to go first with you people, so whatever. Anyway, Rising Stars. I liked what they
Don't
did
say
with the
you people
tournament.
like that.
I like what they did with the tournament. Skill contest, whatever. Um, Glad to see Dame win the 3-point contest. So that's what's up. The All Star game was slam dunk contest. Shout out to Matt McClung. You know, I was expecting it to be more of a duo between him and K and Martin's son, but
Stop.
he didn't do enough. I
Stop.
guess whatever. Um, it kind of disappointed me a little bit, but yeah, shout out to Matt McClung. Um, so in terms of the All Star game,
You got
uh,
15
I didn't
seconds, Shane.
I didn't see the problem with it as everybody else did, but
Of course you
it
didn't.
was,
All-Star game was terrible. They played zero defense. That was the
they
problem.
never
We
played
want to
defense in the
see,
All Star game. What the heck?
but
Shane,
you
please stop.
you normally see some defense towards the end of the game. We didn't get to see that. We didn't even get to see no defense at the end of quarters. Like, Reggie Miller was on the broadcast like, okay, here we go. They about to pick up the defense at the end of the quarter because the money's on the line. And what do? It still looked like a glorified layup line. Like people were just, breaking through the first line of defense and the basket was wide open. It was a layup line. So that was disappointing. The game did have some cool moments. Jaylen Brown versus Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown giving Jason Tatum that work. That was cool to see. Um, I'm glad LeBron didn't play too many minutes. Apparently, he got a hand contusion,
Yeah,
but I'm glad he only played in the first half. Good to see Giannis get his bucket and then get out the game, protecting himself, but still, getting out there and giving the fans at least a bucket. Dame, it's Dame time. Game winner. Um, I'm gonna go backwards basically since Shane Murray, already ran through. Good to see Dame get his 3-point 3-point contest win. Shout out to Dame time. Shout out to Greg because I know he wants Dame time in on the Lakers.
that's not happening.
Well, hey, man's got to have a dream, right?
Yeah,
um,
not happening.
um, man, who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? I missed the skills competition, and everything else. I saw, and then the dunk contest. Man, who knew it would take the white man to save the dunk contest? Shout out to Mac McClung. And also, these are just jokes. Shout out to Trey Murphy too, because I thought he did an amazing job as well. His creativity. The dunk with Grand Theft Alvarado, that was really cool. So shout out to Trey Murphy, shout out to Mac McClung. Those two, you guys did an amazing job. You guys bringing back, trying to bring back the dunk contest. Good for y'all.
Quick question. You know why Max or Austin didn't get invited for all Rising Stars?
Why?
No, that's a real question. I was wondering why.
Because, and you're saying Austin Reeves, right? Like,
yeah, or Max.
He's not a dunker like that.
No, the Rising Stars game.
Oh, in the Rising Stars game. Oh, what the heck? I was just talking about the dunk contest. Why didn't they get an invite to the Rising Stars games? That's actually a great question. Probably because their dads didn't play on, their dads didn't play on the NBA team that went 72-10.
Well, granted, Scotty was here, so I get it,
but no, Max Christie, Austin Reeves, I think they've both played well enough to get an invite to at least Austin Reeves. That's wild to me. Didn't get to see I haven't recorded. I haven't watched the Rising Stars game yet. Saw the celebrity game. Celebrity game is what it is. Whatever. It was cool. Some fun moments. That's about it. All-Star Weekend. Shout out to Shaq for saying that.
Please don't have it in Salt Lake City no more.
Well, next year is Indianapolis again, so
even worse.
Well, is what it is.
Yeah.
So
we're over an hour now. Now, why do I like to keep it under an hour? I don't know, but I can't really tell you why. But we're a minute and 2 seconds now, and really, I blame myself because I have to be able to, control the steering wheel the way I like. But really, I blame Shane Murray because every time we record, Shane Murray will sidetrack us and detour us. We have to argue Shane Murray down. We took 20, 30 minutes arguing with Shane Murray about nonsense. And now we're over an hour.
It's okay.
Okay, so
because you're ridiculous, man.
You're always right. How can I win?
Mitch, you got anything you want to say to my old
friend? Listen, man. Come on. I know Herbert wanted to come on. Listen, we've been gone for so long. Herbert had so much to say about the All-Star game, about Mac McClung, about LeBron, breaking the scoring record, and then then sitting out games. He had so much to say, and because of your nonsense, Shane Murray, we ran out of time. So, sorry, Herbert.
Shout out to my point guards who love to score. You know what I'm saying? You're still a point guard in my eyes. So, fuck the haters.
Who's hating?
Y'all.
How?
All right.
We need to make that, it needs to be a clip. How Shane Murray said he really came out his mouth with a straight face and said Stephon Marbury is better than Stephen Curry.
He is.
Okay.
That'll
be one of the clips.
Gary Payton is too.
All right. Gosh. Come on now, Shane. Boy, I don't know what to say.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Why are you like this?
I'm speaking facts.
Who hurt you?
Nobody hurt me.
All right, so
what do you have against Steph Curry?
I love Steph, but the only thing that he has against him is shooting threes. He's not the point guard on his own team.
Ooh, so is that like a backhanded compliment or what? In Shane Murray,
y'all been giving him out. Y'all been giving it all day. So,
on that note, before we get out of here, just a few reminders. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button next to the Complete Lakers podcast. If you prefer the audio version, remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts. The show is also on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and every other major podcatcher. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at TC Pod Network and to like it on Facebook. Just search for the Complete Lakers podcast. And finally, Send feedback and mailbag questions to CompleteLakersPodcast@gmail.com. We are out.
I need to go to the bar right now.
Bye.